Former Prime Minister Scott Morrison has declared the AUKUS Security Pact and the Quad as the most important strategic developments in the Indo-Pacific since China's advancement into the region. Speaking at a summit in Tokyo, he accused Beijing of attempting to reshape the region over the past decade. Mr. Morrison believes the Quad has the ability to achieve peace through strength and could become the dominant force for regional security and rules-based order. He says over the last decade, the PRC has increasingly attempted to reshape our region and the world in a way more conducive to autocracies than liberal democracies. Our region must not embrace the path of acquiescence in the face of coercion. Rather, we must practically insist on engagement within the clear and established rules with accountability and transparency. Well, joining us live now is Shadow Foreign Minister Simon Birmingham. Simon Birmingham, thanks for joining us. Firstly, do you agree with the former Prime Minister's comments about AUKUS, the Quad and China?
Well, good morning, Gabriella. Certainly the Quad is an incredibly important strategic partnership between India, Japan, the United States and Australia. And in doing so, it has significant influence across the Indo-Pacific in terms of the countries that are involved. It brings together nations that share commitment to democracy, share a commitment to the international rules-based order, and are able to work very importantly with other partners then across the region. It is those other partnerships as well that are so critical, the continued engagement of each of us as Quad members with our ASEAN partners. Australia as the longest standing dialogue partner with the ASEAN nations, and that again is a crucial pillar in terms of the types of regional peace, prosperity and stability that we seek to bring. AUKUS is another pillar in our security alliances and partnerships, and certainly a very significant achievement of the previous government in terms of ensuring that in terms of Australia's defence positioning, we will be in the strongest possible position to access the best defence technologies and to do that in a cooperative way with our closest partners and allies in the United States and the United Kingdom.
Will Scott Morrison's speech provoke a sharp response from China? What can we expect?
It shouldn't. It is simply highlighting the importance of those partnerships. Now, equally, we wish to see a strong partnership with China. The comprehensive strategic partnership that Australia has with China is one in which China should engage, as Australia should, in the type of mutual dialogue and commitment to work in the areas where we have common understanding. There's no doubt that some of China's actions in recent years, the more assertive stance that they have taken, has been detrimental in terms of the relationship, particularly where they have acted in means of economic coercion against Australia. There's no doubt that the increased militarisation and particularly some of their actions in relation to the South China Sea have been unhelpful in terms of regional peace and security. But ultimately, we would wish to see China engage in a manner that enables us all to enjoy a peaceful, prosperous and stable region.
China's warned the US not to play with fire over Taiwan. This is in a phone call with President Joe Biden. How concerning is this?
Threats are never helpful, and the type of threats that have been briefed out in relation to that conversation is not something that I think is conducive to trying to ensure the type of peace and prosperity that we want to see in the region, as we were just discussing. It is positive that the two presidents, President Xi and President Biden, had a long conversation, and that type of dialogue is really important in terms of the ability of these two major powers to be able to work through differences and to be able to work to cooperate across the rest of the world. But the stability and peace, including across the Taiwan Strait, is very important. There ought not to be any disruption to the established arrangements there that are providing right now and have provided for economic growth and growth in prosperity in Taiwan, as we've seen economic growth and growth in prosperity in recent decades in China. And that has been for the good of the peoples living in Taiwan, for people living across China, and the best thing for the world and for those peoples is for that peace to remain and that stability to remain.